Let's get a quick take on Senator Michael Bennet meeting with President Trump along with other lawmakers at the White House this week to discuss Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch. Senator Bennet also met with Judge Gorsuch in Denver this weekend, but has yet to announce whether he'll support the nominee. Patty Calhoun from Westward. It seems that Gorsuch is making the rounds in the right way, and the comments we've heard from so far. Where do you think Bennett's going to fall in this one?
Well, I think he should fall on the side that it's unlikely we could get anyone better than Gorsuch. It's great to have a Coloradan. You don't exactly think you're going to get a liberal jurist nominated by Trump. But I have to take heart from the fact that Gorsuch went on the record talking to senators this week that said when Trump called the judge in Washington a so-called judge, that Gorsuch went ahead and said that was disheartening, that was demoralizing, that he is ready to stick up for the rule of law.
David Kopel from the Independence Institute and DU Law School. What effect does Gorsuch calling that tweet demoralizing have on his chances?
Should help among people who are concerned about the problem it's been growing worse for a century and continues to get worse, which is the centralization of the power of the three branches of government being taken over by the executive. And there's probably, I don't think there's anybody on the federal bench today who has written as frequently in opposition to that. Neil Gorsuch is a rule of law guy, and he's very much a separation of powers kind of guy. So if you're worried about the Trump autocracy, which you should be, as you should have been worried about the Obama autocracy before that and also their predecessors, Neil Gorsuch is absolutely the right man for the job. It's fine for Senator Bennet to take his time, but if he opposes Gorsuch, that would show him to be a worthless pawn of the national scene, and especially considering Gorsuch is from Colorado, a poor representative of the interests and needs of the people of Colorado.
Eric Sonderman, political analyst. Do Democrats have enough firepower to fight this nomination?
Not to win. They certainly have enough firepower to fight. I'm personally heartened. I hope there were pictures of the meeting between Bennett and Gorsuch somewhere in downtown Denver last weekend, because that would show that they're not the same person. Because to the naked eye, their politics, don't get me wrong, and philosophy is very different, but they are like cut from the same cloth. They both largely grew up around Washington, D.C. They're a similar age, similar educational background, similar stature in life. Yes, views are very different, but they are very much cut from the same cloth. Michael Bennet is definitely on the hot seat on this one because Democrats are so animated by all things Trump, by having lost an election that they never even countenanced the possibility they could lose, by being so out in the wilderness. Democrats are demanding, and I mean the activist base of the Democratic Party is demanding an all-out fight on everything. Yet I think in his heart of hearts, Michael Bennet knows better and he's more strategic. The question is, will he come to that conclusion sooner and be a leader, or will he come to that conclusion later and be dragged along? And I don't know the answer to that one.
Joey Bunch, senior correspondent at ColoradoPolitics.com, joins us. Where does Bennet go on this one?
Well, he's in a tough spot, you know, and to ride on what Dave said, I think there's a fine line between worthless pawn and smart politician. And I don't know, in Colorado, it would be popular for him to pick Gorsuch. I agree with Patty, it's going to be hard to find somebody better that Trump would nominate. But at the same time, Gorsuch has been out there on religious liberty, on abortion. I just don't see how Michael Bennet holds together his base for the next election, albeit in 5 years, if he pals up with Gorsuch. And he's keeping this so close to his vest. You know, Ed Seelover from the Denver Business Journal saw Gorsuch and Bennet in Lodo at dinner time, and his office would confirm that, yes, they did meet in Denver at dinner time, but we can't confirm whether or not they had dinner. So, I mean, that tells you that's Washington, and that's Denver, and Michael Bennet has to run in Denver.